All right, we are live in the Facebook group, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook business page for our Thursday Q&A. I'm going live early today. So let's go ahead and turn on IG. Yeah, let's go IG. No, we don't want to do that. I just took a picture of myself. Smarter than the phone. Smarter than the phone, J Minor. Hey, how do I... Okay, I'm doing something wrong here with IG here. You have to come help me for a second. I don't know if I'm... Is it just this button right here?
Mm-hmm. To go live, yeah.
Okay, to go live. Now that's taking a picture of me.
Oh, I know why. Here.
Discard.
Okay. Back here. And then
you want to go live.
Oh, now you do it. Live. Okay,
Just
now
right
it's that one. There you go.
Okay, let's go live here on IG and the TikTok phones. Okay, so we're going live with our Thursday Q&A. I showed up, I got up at 4 freaking a.m. to get back here to do this freaking live for you guys. You're welcome. All right, so we're going live here in about 7 different platforms. So we're going to go live here on StreamYard here on my desktop. So we're going live inside our Facebook group. We have a little bit over 40,000 of you following us around in there, the Sales Revolution Facebook group. We're going live here on our YouTube channel, our LinkedIn, and our Facebook business page. I think there's about 90,000 of you on that Facebook business page. Now, we're also going to go live here on IG, on the IG phone. Welcome. Hi from Saudi Arabia. There you go. Tell me this bag of trail mix. How do we get a job with you? Well, you can apply. You can apply with us. And then we're going live here on the TikTok phone. We have the TikTok phone, the IG phone, then we have StreamYard. Now, today's our Q&A. Just so you know, this morning, I was in Tampa Bay, Florida. I gave a keynote for a big real estate company there yesterday. I woke up at 4 a.m. to catch an early flight to get back here to freaking Scottsdale to do this freaking live for you guys. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm still really tired waking up at 4. I'm a 5 a.m. riser, but 4 a.m. is a little bit too early for J Minor. I just didn't like the 4 a.m. wake up call. All right. So this is a Q&A. So it helps me. Rule number 1, it helps me if you tell me what industry you're in. So when you ask a question, hey, Sam Taylor. Hey, what's up? Nathan, Matt, Quinn Fever, Mr. Closer. Thank you. Tired is a cuss word. There you go. I'm sorry, man. I'm cussing today. There you go. All right. So this is a Q&A. So when you ask a question, if you want me to answer your question, let me know what industry you sell in. If you're like, hey, my question is this. Well, I don't know if you do inbound leads. I don't know if you do outbound leads. I don't know if you do cold calling. I don't know if you do a 1-call close, a 2-call close. I don't know if you're in a B2B complex selling environment where there's multiple touches and closes. So you need to say like, I sell insurance and this is my question, or I work for a car dealership. Here's my question. Or I sell SaaS and here's my question. Or I sell medical device and here's my question. So just let me know what industry you're in and then tell me what your question is. And I'm going to do my best to answer your question. Now, if you are brand new to our Facebook group, Sales Revolution, or you're just following us here on IG, there's about 250,000 of you guys here on Instagram now. And maybe TikTok. Maybe you're brand new in TikTok. Started following me the other day. My name is Jeremy Miner. I am the founder of 7th Level. I was just demoted. I used to be the chairman, but I got a call. I'm the owner of the company. I got a call from my business partner and CEO that I was demoted. I am not the chairman anymore. I'm just the founder. And now they're going to call me the chief creative officer. Good Lord, I get demoted at my own company by the board of directors. What's going on? So I'm the founder now of 7th Level. And we're a sales training organization that trains salespeople exactly like you watching me right now in this black shirt. So we train sales professionals like you. We train sales executives like you. We train coaches, consultants like you. We train entrepreneurs, business owners like you, okay? And we train you and your teams. We help you transform the way you and your salespeople sell by learning specific skilled techniques and different questions that actually work with human behavior. Now, not just the questions, but when do you ask these questions? And then how do you ask them? What's the right delivery? What's the right tone? Okay. Now, those are called neuro-emotional persuasion questions. It stands for NEPQ. NEPQ. Now, we have to teach you the right tonality Because if you sound like a scripted robot, they're going to feel like you're interrogating them. So how do you have the right tonality? How do you bridge from question to question where it sounds natural? How do you get your prospects to want to engage, where they want to open up to you? They actually go below the surface instead of holding their cards close to their chest, never really revealing their problems, staying surface level with you. And then at the end, as you know, you probably lose that sale most of the time. Now, you want to start acquiring the skills like tens of thousands of our clients have done and are doing every single month in your industry, believe it or not. If you want to start making your first 10 grand a month in commissions, if you want to start making your first 15 or 20 grand every single month in commissions in your industry, if you want to start making 25, 30 grand, 40, maybe 50 grand a month with what you sell now, because I can assure you we have clients in your industry that we train now that do more than that. Okay, that when they started here were barely scraping by. You want to acquire those type of skills? Tim says, get them high. I don't know. I'm sure that's going to work, dude. So if you want to acquire those type of skills, message me directly right now. So if you're in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, or if you're in LinkedIn or the Facebook business page here on my desktop, message me directly right now. If you're on IG, message me directly right now. Yo, Jeremy, I just saw your live. If you're on TikTok, message me directly right now. Either myself or one of my stunt doubles will get back to you with different training options that we have for you and your industry if you want to make a lot more money than you are now. Okay. Now, if you're on the live right now, I want you to go post hashtag live. So grab your phone. We're about to start. If you're on the phone, go post hashtag live if you're on the live. And if you're on the replay, post hashtag replay. Okay. And I want you to smash the heart button and smash the like button. If I don't see hundreds of smashed hearts and likes, I'm just going to close up shop and go to bed. I'm really tired. I woke up at 4 a.m. to get on a flight to come out here, back here to the Phoenix office and do this live for you guys. Good Lord. All right, let's start here. I'm going to start with some questions here that I'm seeing. I'm going to jump around from the Facebook group, YouTube, LinkedIn, and IG and TikTok. So don't worry. I'll come back around to you. Jackson on YouTube. This is a good question. Now, Jackson, you didn't tell me what you sold, dude, but how do you get your prospects to initially warm up to you? You know, I talked about this very subject yesterday with a big keynote for about 250 very successful real estate investors that have sales teams that call distressed properties. Okay, these 250 real estate investors that I trained yesterday, and I trained their sales teams were virtually on. The 250 real estate investors were live there. They're top 1% real estate investors in the country. I think each of them is worth at least like 50 million. Some of them were in there worth over $1 billion, the smart guys. And so we talked about how do you get your prospect to initially warm up to you? The only way you can do that is if you know how to disarm the prospect, okay? Now, a lot of you have heard about the ABCs of closing. Type in me if you've heard of the ABCs of closing. Everybody's heard of the ABCs of closing. How can I communicate to each one of you that the ABCs of closing, that way of thinking about selling, is actually causing you to lose sales that you could be making, that our clients who are in your same industry make those sales every single day. Okay. Now, I don't mean that you just show up and be like, well, John, if you want this, I guess call me back if you're interested or email me back. Well, that's not going to work either, right? But my whole concept there is that you have to follow what we call the ABDs of selling. That stands for always be disarming, Jackson. Okay. So from the very first words out of your mouth to the very first questions you're asking, all the way through the middle of that sales process and cycle, whether you sell B2C or B2B, all the way through the end of the transaction when the deal is closed and the money has been sent to your company, you have to continually disarm the prospect where they want to open up and tell you the truth of what's really going on. So Jackson, I don't know if you're one of our clients. If you're one of our clients, you would already know this, but in our virtual training portal, okay, our portals that we have for clients, you're going to learn about what's called connecting questions, where connecting questions take the focus off you and put it on the prospect. So let's say if I'm calling an outbound lead, there's a kind of a first part that I would go through. And then I might say that my second connecting question. Now, let's say it's an outbound lead that responded to some social media ad. Now, John, when you went through the ad where you saw XYZ, what was it about the ad that I guess attracted your attention? Well, when I saw it, it was See, that's a question that takes the focus off you, puts it on them. Now, there's a lot of other techniques that you have to learn and other questions in the connecting stage, but that's just like one example. And Jackson, I don't have time to give you all of those, but if you're not one of our clients, just post hashtag NEPQ. Well, actually, we can't reach out to you on YouTube because we can't message you on YouTube. Just join our Facebook group at salesrevolution.pro. So Jackson, you can join at salesrevolution.pro. Have somebody on the team post it for you. Just join the Facebook group and DM me directly, okay? All right, let's see. What else do we got here? We got a bunch of questions. Ooh, these are really good questions, you guys. Well done today. I like some of these. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got a bunch of questions. Where should I go from here? Okay, Facebook user. I don't know what your name is because it's coming up here. How do you prepare yourself for a sales call if you're not feeling very confident in that moment? Here's the thing. The only reason why you don't feel confident is because of what reason? Because you don't have the right skills yet, right? Like if you're a neurosurgeon, let's say that you're starting to go into medical school and your professor comes in there and whoever teaches you the brain surgery, and it's your first week. And they're like, hey, come in here. It's an emergency surgery. We got to have you operate. Well, how confident would you be that you can perform that brain surgery successfully? Probably hardly any, because you haven't acquired the right skills yet. Selling is no different. If you don't have the right skills that trigger the prospect to want to let their guard down and become open to what you're talking about, you're not going to have any confidence because you're going to get rejected over and over and over. You're going to trigger sales resistance over and over and over. You're going to feel like you're going into a boxing match every day with your prospects because you don't know the right questions to ask. You don't understand when to ask them. You don't understand how to clarify and probe. You don't understand how to get them to want to go below the surface. You don't understand yet how to bridge from question to question with verbal cues. So it sounds natural, like a real conversation, not an interrogation. Okay. Once you acquire the skills and you make sales, well, what happens to your confidence? Your confidence goes way up here because you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you have no confidence. Okay. It doesn't matter how many personal development courses you go through or how much time you meditate or journal. None of that matters if you don't know what to say and ask when the prospect says hello, because you're going to get punched in the face pretty damn quickly in sales. All right. So Facebook user, love you. Message me directly. You want to acquire those skills. I mean, we have them for your industry. So message me directly. What's up, legend? Somebody in there? All right. Let's see here. Currently finishing up some sales calls using all that free content to close deals. Appreciate your stuff. Alex, thank you very much. Alex, just so you're aware, the free content, we just give you little nibbles. So I want you to imagine a puzzle that has 110,512 pieces in that puzzle. Do you see that, Alex? In our free content, we're giving you like one piece of that whole puzzle. If you are one of our clients, you would be closing 5 times more deals than you are because you know everything. Right now, you probably know 1%. So you're losing deals, a lot of deals, that our clients who are in the same industry as you, they're making those deals. Okay, so you want to acquire those skills, message me directly right now on LinkedIn. Okay, me or some of my team will message you back. Let's see, what do we got here? Member retention and self-defense liability insurance, but no questions as of now. Excited for the live first-time viewer. Daniel, nice to meet you. Can I buy parts of your programs, the parts that I think I'm having the most trouble with? Facebook user, what you're not understanding is you're having problems with different parts because you don't know the whole puzzle. You can't just buy little sections of a puzzle and be like, well, yeah, I have a third of the puzzle, but I don't know the other 70%, but I'm sure it'll all work out. I mean, that's what are you asking me? I don't know who that is asking me that question. I've never even asked that question. Sure, you can buy different pieces of the puzzle. You just won't get the same results that our clients are who have the whole thing. Because once you have the whole thing, from connecting questions to situation questions to problem awareness questions to solution awareness questions to consequence, to know how to present and do proposals, okay, and how to close, how to get them to commit to take the next step, how to overcome pretty much every objection. Are you in our objection obliteration course? That's just one of our programs, top 52 objections. Well, what happens if you don't have that? Well, you just lose sales to different objections. Do you have our training that shows you how to prevent most objections from happening? Well, see, if you don't have those, then you just lose deals you could be making. So if I were in your shoes and I wanted to make a lot of sales, I'd probably purchase the training program so I know everything rather than knowing 20%. Call me crazy. Home improvement sales, best way to move forward on a one-legger appointment. Okay, you got to be more specific on that question. That's too generalized. I think it's a good question, but give me a specific example. Like, hey, yesterday I was with this person and she said this and I didn't know what to say back. That's going to help me better than just say best way to move forward on a one-legger appointment, because I don't know your problem with that. Should be pretty easy. All right, Sarah Nicole Nadler, I sell a monthly coaching membership price, $150 a month. Here's my question. What's the best way to overcome the money objection? I mean, that's easy. $150 a month. That is like nothing. Okay, so here's what I want to make sure you understand. Sarah, thank you for the question. It's not like the money is not there. It's not like they don't have the money. Okay. It's just a priority of where they're currently spending that money. So right now in their mind, because of your skill level, because you don't have the right questions yet, you don't maybe have the whole, you don't have the right questions, you don't have the right tone to open them up to trigger like massive pain, a massive gap from where they are compared to where they want to be. So because of that, they don't feel enough urgency to take that $150 a month they're spending somewhere else, where that's a priority for them right now, and say, you know what? Sarah's training membership program is more of our priority. So I'm going to take that 150 and I'm going to move it over to her. You haven't built enough urgency in their mind where there's a big enough gap from where they are compared to where they want to be, where they now view your solution as the number one priority for that $150 a month. That's why you're getting that objection, because that is like cheap, $150 a month. So once you learn NEPQ, neuro emotional persuasion questions, once you're one of our clients, that objection, especially with what you do, you're probably going to reduce that about 80% of the time. Now, if you still get it, okay, my suggestion would be to reduce it from happening. But if you still get it, you say, yeah, that's not a problem. Tell me, if you did have the funds, is this something that would work for you? Yeah, I feel like it would work. Now, if you've done your job right and taken them through the engagement process, like we train in our virtual training courses for our clients, 95% of them are going to say, yeah, or they're going to say, yeah, I do, but I just don't have the money. So let's say they say, yeah, I do, I just don't have the money. Well, okay, money aside, why do you feel like it would though? Well, I feel like it would help me because of this, because of that. And I can appreciate that money might be an issue from what you told me. I guess, how do you think you can overcome that, where you can find the funds so that you can, and you repeat back what they said they wanted? Now, Sarah, I don't know what type of coaching membership you sell. Is it fitness? Is it spiritual? Is it relationship? Is it training? Like, you got to be more specific with me, Sarah. There you go. Now, I can appreciate that money might be an issue from what you told me. I guess, how do you think you can find the funds so that you can, and you repeat back what they said they wanted? Okay. Why do I want to repeat back what they said they want? Because I want to attach the funds with what? Getting what they said they wanted. That gets them into results-based thinking over cost or price-based thinking. If they can get the funding, they get what they want. If they can't get the funding, they don't get what they want. And most people want to get what they want. Now, a lot of times they'll be like, well, I could do this, I could do that. Now, let's say they don't, because you haven't learned any NEPQ yet. You haven't pulled out enough emotion for them. You've kept them logical based thinking because of your consultative questions. Let's just say that. You haven't learned any NEPQ yet. Then they come back, I don't know, I'm not sure if I have the money. Then you might say, well, I guess what other avenues do you have to find more funds so that you can? And you repeat back the second thing they said they wanted. Okay. If they still can't come up with options, then you can say, well, Mary, what I can do if it helps you is I can show you the avenues that our other clients use to find the funds if they don't have it themselves. And you'll have to see if you have some of those avenues if you're wanting to, and you repeat back what they said they wanted. Then you go through the different avenues that your clients get funds from, especially for 150. And then you say, what of those avenues do you have? That's how you help them overcome the money objection. But I will tell you, Sarah, especially with your price point, you should never get that objection. I mean, I'm telling you, you should reduce that by 90% if you know how to build a gap from where they are compared to where they want to be, where they feel so much internal tension from your questioning ability, where they feel so much internal tension, where they feel like they have no choice but to change their situation, where they feel like by them changing their situation, that is far less risky for them if they purchase what you're offering than them doing nothing at all, staying in the status quo, their problems stay the same and nothing ever changes, which is more risky. So Sarah, that's kind of a long version of that, but DM me directly. I mean, we train thousands of people in your industry that make huge commissions, but that's because they understand NEPQ now. Before, they were asking me questions like that. You shouldn't have to ever ask that question again once you know what we know. Okay, let's go over here to IG. Let's see here. We got a bunch of questions here. I'm going to go to LinkedIn too. I know we got LinkedIn questions. I know we got some TikTok questions too. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Can we purchase a Black Book digital download? Yeah, you can. We have ads running for that. That's just, it's a good book to get you started, but not going to make you, it's not going to quadruple your income, but it's a good place to start. You'll make more sales from it. Let's see. How are you, man? Hey, what's up? I'm doing good. Jeremy, let's ride. Nathan, as a sales starter person, need to gather all information from the best of the best. Okay. Your courses are very expensive. I don't know, Christina, our clients don't really say that. They would probably say that it's way more expensive to keep losing sales that our clients make who are in the same industry. So you tell me which is more expensive. Is it more expensive to get the funding together and learn the sales skills that work with human behavior so you sell 3 to 5 times more than what you are now? Or is it more expensive for you to keep selling the way you are now, making the same commissions you are now? You tell me which is more expensive. I can tell you what our clients, who probably many of them are in your industry, would say for sure. Hope that helps you, Christina. Let's see. 4 a.m. Let's go. There you go. Shoes here. Yo, shoes here. Jeremy, thank you. Tired as a cuss word. I love Scottsdale. Hey, I love Scottsdale too. Hey, man, I just got in your new NEPQ program, mister. I'm enjoying the content so far. I don't know which program. Are you in like our NEPQ 2.0 training portal, advanced NEPQ 3.0, advanced inner circle? What are you in? Just started my career as real estate. Okay, where's the questions here? Where's my questions? Questions. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. Insurance industry. Train thousands in the insurance space. We train a company that has 23,000 agents. They're crushing it now. Are you here to sell me insurance? Okay. Let me help you understand, because insurance is we train 158 different industries. And insurance is one of the top 10 that we train tens of thousands. I've probably over 100,000 people in that, at least by now. If you're getting somebody that says that in the first 1 minute, it's because you're triggering that reaction from them. Here's what you need to understand. This is just behavioral science 101. Within the first 7 to 12 seconds of any sales conversation you're in, whether you're on the phone, whether you're on Zoom, whether you're in person, it does not matter what you do. Your prospects are picking up on your verbal and nonverbal cues subconsciously. We can't even help it as a human being. It's wired into what's called our reptilian part of our brain. Okay. So when we feel a threat, which is a salesperson trying to sell us something, when we feel that, okay, so your prospects are picking up on your verbal and nonverbal cues. They pick up in your body language if they can see you. That triggers their brain to react in one of two ways. Okay, so this is for the insurance salesman. That's the question. If you're coming across really excited, especially in the first part of that conversation where you have zero trust or credibility yet with that prospect, if you're coming across aggressive, if you're coming across needy, if you're coming across attached, and you don't understand the right questions to ask, you don't understand the right tone to ask them, it triggers your prospect's brain to go into what's called fight or flight mode. So they say things like, hey, are you just trying to sell me insurance? Hey, I'm not interested. Hey, I know I filled out the form, but can you call me back later? I'm too busy. Oh, you know what? Insurance, I don't think we want it. No, we're good. Can you call me back in a week, a month, a year later? See, those are triggered reactions by how you're communicating and talking with the prospect, okay? You should never get that. We train thousands of salespeople in insurance. They would never get that reaction. So that is a downstream reaction based on your tone and what you're saying in that first probably 10 to 30 seconds that's triggering that reaction to happen. Okay. So let's say if they're an outbound lead and you're calling them back because they filled out a form requesting information, if you're calm, you should never get that at all. But if they're like, hey, are you here to sell me insurance? Oh, John, I didn't mean to offend you. You had filled out a form looking for different quotes for like financial protection for the family. So you had actually asked us to call back. Is this an appropriate time? See how my voice lowers? Okay. More calm, more relaxed. Okay. You got to work on that. DM me if you want industry specific training for your industry. We train agents now that make 30, 50, 60, 100 grand a month selling insurance just like you. Many of them were making 10 times less than that when they started here a year ago. Okay, let's keep going through questions. Let's see here. Had a job interview the other day and I'm on the final stage now because of your tips. You're welcome. Hey, I'm glad. Congratulations. Do you have new teeth? Well, yes. So these are new veneers. So I've had veneers before, but about every 12 years, you have to get them replaced because they start falling out. So I just had them replaced. They were 12 years old. So they took all of them out, these top 10 right here, and then the bottom 2. So they just replaced them about a week ago. Thanks for noticing. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. What is your solar closing pitch? Well, we don't pitch, but we do help prospects solve their problems and get what they want. We don't have time to go through a whole sales approach for solar. We do train tens of thousands and, well, probably not tens of thousands, but several thousands in solar. In fact, I'm doing a huge keynote for a company in California, in Carlsbad and San Diego, I think in January. That's like 7,000 reps or something like that that are going to be there. So we do train a lot that make a lot of money in solar now that they've gone through NEPQ. But you want industry specific training in solar, just DM me directly because we have it. We got reps that make 50 to 100,000 a month in commission. Some of them make more now just because they know how to sell the right way. Okay, so DM me directly. I don't have time to show you all that stuff here on a Q&A. Okay, let's see here. Need help on a door-to-door pitch. Once again, stop pitching. Stop pitching. You got to start becoming problem finders and problem solvers. It's a lot easier to sell then. Sounds like you need to call rank on Marco and the boys. Trucking industry. Hey, we train a lot of people in trucking industry. I just wrote a pretty awesome sales structure for a big trucking company as well. When you trucking industry B2B, when you need data, how do you unstick a prospect that's delaying you getting what you need? Okay, but the question you have to ask, that's a downstream issue. Why are they delaying getting what you need? What did you say and ask that triggered them to not feel that getting you that data is a priority for them to solve their problems? That's what you need to ask yourself. See, I don't know what you said. I don't know how you said that. Okay. If I'm at the end of a conversation, I might say, so, and like I said, I'd have to ask you, I wish I could pull you out to ask you more context because I could give you a better answer. I'm just kind of guessing here right now, but we do train a lot of people in your space because I've written scripts for it. But you would, at the end, like, okay, so John, good first call. Let's say you did a first call discovery that really helps us understand a little bit more about X, Y, Z and some of the issues you're going through. Really, the next step would be is we would what's the next step is we would have you send over your data for X, Y, Z. Once we have that, that'll help us understand A, B, and C. And then at that point, we can kind of put together a proposal on how we could solve A, B, and D. Would that help you? Okay, good. Now, what's your time frame on getting the data over to me a little bit later today so I can actually schedule that to go through that so that we can blank, blank, blank? You got to ask them what the time frame is. What's your time frame on getting that over to me later today so I can actually start putting that together so that we can blank, blank, blank? If you just like, hey, just send me the data and get back to me and just leave it up to them, good luck. Probably not going to happen because things get busy at the office. So when you have like a time frame, and let's say they're like, oh, I'll send it to you tomorrow by 2. Let's say they haven't sent it to you, by 4. You would simply call them or email them, or I would actually call them and be like, hey, John, I just had a second to get to you, but I haven't got the data yet. Did you get that together? And just boom, get it right. Put time frames on it. Easy stuff. Okay, let's go over to TikTok here. I know you guys have some questions here. You probably feel like I'm ignoring you. Okay, let me look here what we got. I'm in the staffing industry. And my question of how to get people to meet me. Okay, I need more context. I'm so sorry. It's a good question, but I don't understand the context behind that. When you say you're in the staffing industry, What do you mean? How do you get them to meet you? Did you already have a first call with them? And now you want them to meet you in person in the office? Like, give me more context. I can answer that question better. Okay. Sorry about that. High ticket sales, best follow strategy for people that can close within the quarter. Okay. But my question is, why didn't they close when you had the first discussion with them? Like, what held them back from close? What held you back from getting them to want to change your situation and do that with you? That would probably be my question for you. That's probably what we need to work on, rather than just doing constant follow-ups with people that we couldn't close, because that's not easy, like just closing them on the first or second call in your industry. We should train thousands in your industry too. Okay, I sell people in full cycle recruitment. Clients I had final interviews are now ghosting. Okay, well, why are they ghosting? Why are they ghosting? Is it that their fault, or whose responsibility that they're ghosting? I would say it's your responsibility. There's something you said or did not ask in that conversation or conversations that did not build much of a gap from where they are compared to where they want to be. And because there's hardly any gap, they don't feel any urgency to get back to you. They don't feel like they have any issues or problems. That's from our lack of questionability, the right questions at the right time with the right tone. Once you change that, guess what? People chase after you because they view you as like the trusted authority, the expert who's going to solve their problems. If people are ghosting you, it's because they don't view you. They just view you like another salesperson who's trying to sell them something. And nobody wants to be sold, but they do like to get their problem solved and purchased to do that for sure. But they don't like to feel like they're sold. So you got to work. That's a downstream issue. Okay. But if they're not getting back to you, let's say that you still are doing that. And let's say you have 1 out of 100 that are not getting back to you. You compose a simple email or text and you do it like this. Hey, John, tried to call you a few times, and just write this down word for word. Don't change the wording. You change the wording, you're going to change the result. Okay. So do this. Hey, John, tried to reach you a few times and did not hear back from you. ... Then scroll down 2 lines and say, where should we go from here? ? Where should we go from here? ? That's it. Don't add any fluffy stuff. And you're going to have about 8 out of 10 people that respond back to that. Guaranteed. Okay. Our clients swear by that. Okay. Now, you want to learn how to get people to stop ghosting you though, and actually make sales on your first or second call? Message me directly, because you can make 3 times, 4 times what you're making right now. We have clients in your space that make 30, 50, 60, 80 grand a month in commissions. Okay. They don't get ghosted. People chase after them. Okay. Where can I sign up? Do you follow, are you in the Facebook group? Go to salesrevolution.pro. So I think it's IGWXCYV or VZ. Go to salesrevolution.pro, salesrevolution.pro. Go right there to and get in the Facebook group and then just message me directly. Let's see here. Let's go to some other questions here. Hold on. Peter, I just started with a global distributor for semiconductors. Train people in that space too. I've seen testimonials from it. Came from strictly hardware background, and I have not had a ton of experience reaching out to billion-dollar companies, but I'm fired up. Question is, how do I actually? Okay, well, I love that you're fired up, but I want you to keep that internal to yourself, because I can assure you, when you call and try to get through gatekeepers, the more excited you sound and fired up you sound, the more they're going to punch you in the face and try to get rid of you. Do you know why? Because they don't care you're excited about your product or services. They only care about what? Themselves, right? They don't know you from Adam. You have zero trust or credibility with them when you call like that. So when you call, my suggestion would be be more calm, collective, and more neutral, like unbiased. Like you're not quite sure you can even help yet because you don't know any details about their situation. Okay, when you come across in that manner, especially with what you're doing, you're going to notice your prospects are much more open with you because you're open with them. Okay, we train a lot of people in your space. If you want industry-specific options for training for your space, message me directly here on LinkedIn and we'll get back to you. You can join the free Facebook group too, but we train a lot of people in your space. I've seen testimonials. Okay. I sell fixed annuities insurance. Can you give an example of a connecting question on a present appointment? Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different connections. You probably want to join our training. I mean, even for your industry, we have thousands of reps who train your industry to make 30, 40, 50 grand a month. I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, I'm dead serious. Okay. Some that make more than that now. When they were starting, barely getting by, almost quit. Okay. So if you just message me directly, we have industry specific training even for your industry as well. In fact, we have one of the top agents in the United States that is one of our clients. It makes tons of money per month, that even does a group training call every week with our clients in some of our programs, besides our virtual training platform that's industry specific, even for that. Okay. So an example, I don't have time to give you, for your industry, there's about 4 connecting questions you ask. But one of them is where you set a frame. And I'll just kind of give you an example. We'd probably tweak it based on your annuities, but I don't have time to do that right now in my head. But we might say, now there's probably 2 connecting questions you have first, and then you want to set a frame. Okay. And it might be something like this. All right. Let me show you here. I actually pull up. I was just working on a sales structure for your industry right before I did this here. What did they say? Oh, yeah, here it is. This is more for like mortgage protection, life insurance, but it's very similar. We would just tweak it for you. All right, John, now this is not the first connecting question. This is like the third. All right, John, the first part of this is really pretty basic. It's really more for us to find out, kind of what you might be eligible for and maybe what you have in place now, like when something does happen to you compared to what you might be looking for, as far as financial protection for the family, just so we can kind of see what the gap looks like to see if we could actually do something for you. And then towards the end of the call, or if you're in the home and towards the end of us talking here, if you feel that it might be what you're looking for, we can talk about possible next steps. Would that help you? Now, why would I say at the end of the call or at the end of the conversation, if you feel like it might be what you're looking for, we can talk about possible next steps? Why wouldn't I be really assumptive and say, at the end of the call, if this is a good fit for you and it's a good fit for us, we're going to show you how to sign up and pay? Well, that's just going to trigger sales resistance, especially in an A-type personality. Like, well, I didn't say I'm interested yet, or I didn't say I was ready yet. But if I say, and at the end of the call, if you feel that it might be what you're looking for, we can talk about possible next steps. Does that help? No, it would not help to talk about possible next steps. See, nobody's going to say that because the word might be and possible are neutral language. It's neutral languaging. All right. The reason why we want to have neutral languaging, especially in the beginning of the conversation, because you have zero trust and credibility right now. You don't want to trigger what's called sales resistance, where the wall comes up and like, well, hey, I didn't say I was ready to buy today. See, now you're competing with the wall. The wall is up now, and now you have to try to knock it down. Why not start in the conversation where you eliminate the wall from ever coming up? It makes selling 5 times easier. So hopefully that answered your question. There's a lot more to that, but hopefully that helped you, okay? Let's see. How do I actually get a hold of a C-level executive, VP level contacts in order to utilize your training? Peter, are you in our Facebook group? If you message me directly on LinkedIn, so message me directly on LinkedIn, and I will have somebody in my account respond back to you. And you can set up a time with one of our account vice presidents who handles more of our B2B sales division. And you can meet with them about training options. So Peter, just message me directly on LinkedIn and tell them that you were on a live and that Jeremy said to put you, to have you book with one of our VPs, our vice presidents, account vice presidents, who's over our B2B sales training programs for your industry as well. So just do that on LinkedIn and they'll respond back to you underneath my account. Okay. Sometimes I get in there myself, but I don't have time today. Okay. How do you deal with prospects that need to speak with their partner or want to wait until after Christmas? Andre, we quite literally just did a training on how to pre-frame the Christmas objection. Were you not on that training? We did it like a week ago. We even did it for free. Didn't even have to be a client. You should have been on that training. Where were you, man? You're probably losing a lot of deals right now from that Christmas objection. And guess what? Over the next 2 weeks, you're going to get it about 10 times more. That's why you have to show up. If you don't show up for the training, nobody can help you. So I'll give you a little bit of an example. I'm not going to make it industry specific here because when you say I sell real estate and trucking, real estate and trucking? Well, what do you mean by trucking? Like what do you sell in trucking? There's like different there's different industries for trucking. So I don't know what you mean by just trucking in general. Okay. So you might get on there and like, let's say you have a call, or let's say you even meet them virtually or in the home or whatever. Just say, hey, just, congratulate, welcome to the call. Appreciate you being on here today, and well done on, looking at possibly, doing something, with X, Y, and Z, because, there's always these people that we get, who I'm talking about. You get on with them and they say, well, now's not a good time, but, let's get back together at Christmas, after Christmas, after the holidays over. I'm too busy right now. And then I'll do something then. And then, after Christmas is over, then they say, well, now's not a good time. I'm really busy with my work. Let's talk more in the spring. And then we try to talk in the spring. They're like, well, I've got family in town. Why don't we wait till the summer? Then summer comes around. They're like, well, I'm really busy with the kids. Let's talk in the fall. And then fall comes around. And here we are a year later on the same call. Nothing has changed for them. Their problems have stayed the same, sometimes gotten worse, and nothing has ever changed. So well done on not being like all those people who never do anything because they just never take action for themselves. So I just wanted to commend you on being the call right now for sure. That's a Christmas pre-frame. Now, we would make it more industry specific, like we do that in our virtual training programs and our group training coaching programs, but that's kind of a generic version of that. So hopefully that helped you there. All right, let's go back to IG. I've got about 150 questions on IG. Amber, how can we help education training institutions with targeted people? Okay, I love the question, but it's a little bit broad. You got to narrow that down. Give me more context. How can we help education training institutions target people? Help them in what way? Like what part of the sales process? You got to be more specific for me because I can't guess. I cannot read your brain through IG. All right. How do I sell cannabis extracts to retail cannabis stores? How do I deal with unresponsive buyers? We train a lot of people actually in your space. I actually wrote a sales structure for a very successful company out of Michigan now. About 6 months ago. So we train a lot of people in that. I sell cannabis extracts to retail cannabis stores. How do I deal with unresponsive buyers? Okay, well, my question is, why are they unresponsive? See, this is most of the questions you guys are asking me today are downstream issues based on your lack of questionability, based on your lack of tonality ability. When you're asking certain questions, are you asking it in more of a curious tone, more of a skeptical tone? Or when do you know how to ask in more of a concerned tone with more empathy? Well, if you don't know what tone to use in certain parts of your sales process, guess what? You're triggering uncertainty in the prospect's brain. And what happens when they have uncertainty is they stay surface level with you. So even when you ask kind of your surface level questions, guess where they go? Their answers are like 1, 2, or 3 word answers, and they just stay surface. And you'll get rejected most of the time if they stay surface. You're going to get lots of objections and you're going to chase. So when you learn NEPQ, you learn how to get them to open up, to want to open up. Okay. Because the conversation feels so natural, yet it's very skilled on your end. They just don't know that. It feels so natural. They feel like you're there to really help them. They feel like you're more of a trusted authority, more of an expert, that they feel like they want to open up to you. They feel like you have something that could get them what they want. Okay, so they become very open because you're open with them. If you don't know how to do that, that's why you're getting unresponsive buyers. Okay, so how do I deal with unresponsive buyers? I'll give you kind of a Band-Aid approach, but my suggestion would be is learn how to take them through the process in the beginning where they're not unresponsive, where they're actually really responsive to you. So you can email them back if they haven't been getting a hold of you, and you can say, hey, John, I tried to reach you a few times, but didn't hear back, ... Scroll down 2 lines. Where should we go from here? ? That's it. Press send. Don't fluff it around. Don't type out 2 paragraphs. I really want to work with you. I know you have problems. We can help you. That sounds desperate. And they don't view you as a trusted authority or an expert when you sound desperate. I can assure you that. Okay. Type that out, send it. You're going to get a lot of responses. Now, DM me if you want to learn the skills so you can sell a lot more and not have your prospects be unresponsive, because that sucks. You don't make that much money. The upper teeth, I mean. I'm in Delta Industry B2B. How do I cold call better? Well, you probably want to be in our virtual training programs where we teach you how to do that. It's called a problem statement. where you're focused on one or two generic problems that anybody answering the phone can identify with. And that triggers them to ask you more about that. And then you go into what's called a personalized introduction, where you go over how what you do helps other companies like them. And then there's a question after that. We teach all that in our virtual training courses. Message me directly right now. We have people that cold call. We have cold callers that make 60 grand a month in B2B sales, 80 grand a month, like clockwork. Okay. They were making maybe 5-10 grand a month when they started with us. Who did you learn from when it comes to social media marketing? I didn't learn from anybody, but we have a really good social media marketing team, and our content actually works. People get results. So when I give out little tidbits, little nibbles, well, even the little nibbles work. You have all the nibbles, you're going to make probably 5 to 8 times more than you are right now. So message me directly if you want those, everything. Okay. But we have great content. Obviously, we have tens of thousands of clients. We have over 11,000 testimonials in a little bit over 2 years. Inc. magazine ranked us the fastest growing sales training company in the United States of America the last 2 years. Those are both of our awards. So there's probably a reason, because we get our clients really big results. So that is why our marketing works, because our training works. If our training never worked, our marketing probably would not work as well, for sure. Hopefully that answers your question. Parking business, I just signed up with you. What training program are you in? Are you in our NEPQ 2.0 virtual training program? Are you in our advanced NEPQ 3.0 training portal plus the group coaching? Or are you at like an advanced inner circle, where I do that with with our CEO and CRO? Okay. Do you work with realtors? Yes. Thousands of them. I just trained a big real estate convention yesterday in Tampa Bay. Just message me directly if you want to know more details about that. Okay. What else do we got? What time is it, Blake?
It's 4:16.
4:16. All right. We'll go for a few more minutes here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's a solar question. This is a good one. Trained thousands in solar. Got a big keynote with 7,000 solar salespeople in January, and then with another big group, I believe in April in Salt Lake City that we're doing. They're going to have 5,000 people there. So, okay. So first of all, you're like, hey, what's all your opening with door-to-door approach? I'm not going to give all of that for you, because that's really for our clients, Tim. If you want to know that information, we have all those sales structures and scripts written now. We have solar people that make over 100 grand a month now in commissions. Okay. That we train in pretty big companies and small companies. But I'll give you a little hint there, because we don't have time. So one thing you want to avoid when you knock on the door, okay? Hi, hi, are you guys the homeowners here? Hey, yeah, hey, my name is, and I'm with XYZ company, and the reason why I came by is because of blah, 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 blah. Your prospect tunes that out in about 5 to 8 seconds. They don't hear any words out of your mouth after you say, my name is, I'm with XYZ company, and the reason why I'm here is. You might as well, after that, they're hearing blah, 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 blah. Like they tune you out. Sales resistance already up. You've triggered sales resistance. And why? Because they're used to every single door-to-door salesperson that has knocked on their door for years saying the same introduction. Hi, my name is, I'm with, the reason why I came by was, and it's wah, 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 wah. That's what they hear. So you're done. All right. So my first job in sales was door-to-door sales alarms. So I know door-to-door like the back of my hand. Okay. In the 4 industries I sold in, where I made a bit under 33 million in commissions in my 17-year sales career, 2 were B2C, 2 were B2B. I know both, like I said, like the back of my hand. We train 158 different industries now. So when you knock on the door, you want to trigger curiosity rather than trigger fight or flight mode. Okay. So when I was in door-to-door sales when I was 21, 22-year-old kid, what I did is I tried not to even look or act like a salesperson, because if I look or act like a salesperson on a door, what is triggered? Automatically sales resistance go up. I'm competing against the wall. I don't want any sales resistance. Way easier to sell when you don't have a resistance, when the wall's not up. So what I would do is I wore like a construction vest, like an orange one or a light green one, or like lime, the lime green, cool ones, neon green. I'd have a clipboard like I was reading a meter or something like that. I'd have a pair of like khaki shorts. I'd have like a white pair of New Balance shoes. I look like a grandpa. I purposely did that because it's, what do I want to say the word? I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I've lost brain cells. I don't even know what I'm saying here, but it's less threatening, if that makes sense. I didn't have my cool shoes on or anything like that. Like I wanted to look as basic and boring as possible. I did not want to look like a salesperson. Okay. Had a tape measure on my side because I got to measure out the alarm and stuff when I get in the house. I'd knock on the door and I'd be looking around like the yard, like the bushes, maybe the roof, maybe the windows, and they'd come to the door and I'd be kind of nonchalant. I'd be like, yeah, are you guys the homeowners here? And they'll be like, yeah, we're the homeowners. What's going on? Just right there, rather than triggering sales resistance like all the other door-to-door people, I triggered what? Curiosity. The wall is not even up. Yeah, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I'm Jeremy. I apologize. I can't stay long. I have an appointment I need to get to, but I stopped by to see if you guys could possibly help me out for a moment. Oh, sure. Yeah. What's going on? How can we help you? Well, I'm not sure if you've spoken with your neighbors or not, or if you know what's going on. But it's actually easier maybe if I showed you, and then with solar, they have like these iPads, and if I showed you and you kind of act confused and like, yeah, look, you see your house here, and you turn to the side, so you're standing side by side, and you show them the map of like all your existing customers around. Yeah, these are all your neighbors. They all buy their electricity from us, not XYZ power. And no, we're not selling solar panels. If that made sense, I'm sure you would have already had them on your roof already. The reason why we're out here is we're competing with Nevada Energy. Like, can I ask what the main reason was that you chose them to be your electric provider? Well, I don't think we had a choice. Yeah, exactly. Are you opposed to homeowners having a choice? Oh no, I'm not. But what could I do? Well, how it works, and just so you know, I'm not saying we could even do anything for you because I don't know enough about your roof and situation to if we could do something. But instead of you having to buy like a 30,000 solar panel system, we're able to offer you the electricity that the panels produce, and that electricity costs far less than if you were to buy it from the power lines. Now, I should probably ask you, how long have you been in the home using Nevada Energy, just so I understand? And I go right into my first situation questions. Now, that's a little bit of an example. Did you hear my tonality when I did that? Now, did that sound salesy, or did that sound collective and calm and more neutral? See, when you're collective and calm and more neutral, it triggers your prospects to let their guard down because they don't feel like they're being sold to. Okay. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a hint. Now, we have sales structures really for every industry now on the planet, except for underwater basket weaving. We haven't trained any companies in underwater basket weaving. If you guys know any underwater basket weaving companies, maybe you could help us out, get us in the industry. I'm just joking. Somebody's going to start one. All right, guys. Hey, I love you. I got to go, though. I got to take my daughter to her dance class. All right. I haven't seen her for a day and a half, so I miss her. So I'm going to go home and pick up my daughter and take her to dance class. Love you guys all. We'll be back next week. I'll be probably going live Tuesday with another training inside the Facebook group. So if you're on IG and TikTok and you haven't joined our Facebook group, or if you're on LinkedIn and YouTube, you probably want to do that. I'll have somebody on the team post that. Go to www.salesrevolution.pro. So salesrevolution.pro. If I could have somebody in IG, maybe Val or Felicia, if you guys are online. Let's see here. Go to www. Chad says, follow me. All right, everybody, follow Chad. He's the savior. Salesrevolution.pro. Salesrevolution.pro. All right, we'll let you guys join the free Facebook group. There's about 40,000 members in there. Salesrevolution.pro. Okay, I'm posting the Sales Revolution group in there myself. I don't know where everybody's at. Everybody must be sleeping today. All right, yeah, if you're on YouTube, go to salesrevolution.pro. If you're on LinkedIn, salesrevolution.pro. If you're in TikTok, go to salesrevolution.pro. And if you're on IG, salesrevolution.pro. We'll be back live in the Facebook group next week with a specific training. We do that every Tuesday. And then you want to start, give you a little nibbles today. Sorry, we had like 300 people ask questions. I can't pause. Hey, Blake, can we hire like about 50 more Jeremy Miners possibly?
Yeah.
Or maybe
clone
me or something. Let's go clone them in China. All right. Well, just joking. Okay. All right. Go salesrevolution.pro. Look, you want to start making your first 10 grand a month in commissions with what you sell. Hi from Slovenia. Hey, you want to start making your first 15 grand a month with what you sell now, your first 20 or 25 or 30 grand a month in commissions every month. Or if you're a big thinker, you want to start making 40 or 50 grand a month or higher, 80 grand a month in commissions in your industry. I can pretty much assure you we are training reps in your industry that are making that and more every single month now that they've acquired skills that work with human behavior, NEPQ, rather than against it. So if you want to acquire those skills, message me directly right now. If you're on IG or TikTok, message me directly right now. If you're on LinkedIn or the Facebook group or the Facebook business page, message me directly right now. If you're on your YouTube, post hashtag NEPQ, hashtag NEPQ. Either myself or someone on our team will message you back different training options that we have for you. Chad Baker says, follow me, fellows. Follow me, fails. Everybody follow Chad Baker. He is over there wanting everybody to follow him. All right. Everybody follow that guy. He's your savior. All right, everybody. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Stay out of trouble.